Okay, guys, I got 7 o'clock. Can you whistle? I need a good whistler. Oh. All right, let's get started. We have a lot to cover tonight. So I want to thank everybody for being here. If you have not checked in yet online, please do so. You should have gotten an email from Ham Club Online. The check-in code tonight is Kilo Golf. So please go ahead and check in. All right, David gave me his January VE report. David, thank you for everything you do with that. That is a lot of work. Yeah, that's you. So they had 3 examinees and 3 new techs. So thank you. That's great. It's always nice to see new techs come in. Next time, generals. And after that is extra, and then it's super extra. Extra plus plus. Okay, I got that. All right, so we do have 5 new member applications to vote in tonight. Okay, Scott Durham, are you here tonight? Awesome. I have your name tag up here, so it may be at the break. You can come up and get it. Leroy, are you here? No? Okay. Jerry. Jerry? Okay, I know Brian is not here tonight. He will be here at the next meeting. Marta, are you here? Okay, all right, very good. So we got 5 new members. I need a motion to approve. David, KI5LPO. Second, KK5TIM. Okay, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, welcome aboard. Okay, so you saw this in the newsletter. We do have a neighborhood communications strategy team, I guess, committee. What do we want to call it? Okay, Peter, if you come up here and give an update on that, I appreciate that.
All right, well, I'm just going to say where it started for me with the North Carolina and Helene mess there, and how ham radio was suddenly very much in the forefront helping those people. I listened online to that repeater. I'm not sure, a lot of us did. And then read more about how FRS and GMRS also was connecting non-hams and just communities just to stay connected, and then they would be communicating with a ham. And so from there, Jerry and Todd, their neighborhood just wanted to connect, and so they started this GMRS FRS connection for their neighborhood. And also in the middle of this was the idea of being able to get non-hams radios to listen to the ham frequencies, to Skywarn and other things in an emergency, so they could have some information just to listen to. So what we've kind of ended up with is the TID Radio H3. It can be set up as only GMRS. You can't transmit at all on the ham frequencies, but you can program them in. It's specifically designed to listen on ham. And it's also programmable by Bluetooth, so it makes it very user-friendly. And I've been using one. Todd's a professional. He uses them. Tim, he's using them. And yeah, quite a few of us are using them and really enjoying them. So that's something that we're looking at offering to people that come to our, it was at the Oktoberfest. A lot of people were saying, hey, can we get in? And then as soon as we'd say, oh, you got to take a test, like, oh, okay, and they just move on. But if we could offer, hey, we do know of a radio that you could listen on. And then with the Berry Farm GMRS group, Todd and Jerry's, Todd has his GMRS antenna up on his house, and I took a Walmart radio, the equivalent of is a 4 for $20 Amazon pack that I got for my kid, and I drove around their neighborhood and was talking to Todd the whole time. So that's definitely something that if people are wondering, hey, how can I stay in contact? Well, if you're a ham and you want to offer your services, that's something you can tell them, and they don't have to worry about getting a license. They can stay in contact with you if you're willing to step into the GMRS side. So as a neighborhood thing, I'm not so sure about, some people are talking repeaters, and on the GMRS side, and I can't speak to that. It's not working well for me so far, but the neighborhood part is. So I think, and Jerry's made several of these kits for, no, that's not the H3, but they're kits for family members with how-tos and the list of all the frequencies, and it's just in a box so they can pull it out in an emergency and tells them what to do with instructions. So.
I know you guys have been missing my melodic voice these last couple of months, but for those that haven't been around long enough, back in 2014, we had an ex-club president named Walter Lemon, AE5IT. He died. In his will, he left cash and designated that it be used for the support of developing youth in ham radio. So we as a club spent a lot of time figuring out what that meant. So what we did was we put together what we thought at the time was a fairly robust youth program. So we've got the money, it's in a separate account. When you see these treasury figures show up, it includes the money that's in that youth account, but we're not allowed to spend any of the youth account money on anything except youth stuff. Historically, we've only spent that money on things like the Dallas Regional Science and Engineering Fair, things of that nature. However, within the program, we also had a designated promotion that we could give to youth who, once they passed their technician, general, or extra exam, made no difference. As long as they got a license, joined the club, and then participated in 2 club events, we would give them a free radio. Well, Ezra has participated in more than 2 club events. We were actually a bit remiss. We got to looking at things, at attendance and at our old programs, and realized, you know, we owe Ezra a radio. So tonight, we would love to give Ezra his radio. So if you want, you come on up, Ezra. Wish it could be more, but I think you'll still have fun with it. It's a brand new, golly, what do they call that? It's UV5R. Comes with the chargers, programming cables, the whole bit. You should be able to download Chirp. Yeah, turn around. You got a guy who wants to take your picture. You're very photogenic. Oh, here. Or I can do this. Ezra, thank you for being active and for hanging out with us old guys. Congratulations.
This evening we have the pleasure of meeting John Galvin, N5 TIM. He is both an Aries and Racies officer, as well as a very experienced local ham, and he does a lot with WinLink. Several of us have talked about WinLink in the past, and he's going to give us some insight into how we can get that set up and use that with our equipment. So without further ado, John? And there's the...
Thanks, Tim. And from another Tim, and I generally answer to either John or Tim, so I know how that is. And I was noticing on the website real quickly that y'all had a show and tell, so I told Tim I'd throw a show and tell in here. And there's kind of a couple of cell card adapters. This box up here on the top left. Card that's inside is just a bunch of transformers with transistors. How about now? Is that better? Okay. Okay, the little box up on the top here it's got a little card in it with a couple transformers and stuff. Little kit the guy in South Texas was selling. Got interested in that after playing Packet for some years. Then found out that, pretty directional, so found out that a couple guys figured that second card here was built for All-Star. Some of you may know what All-Star is. And an enterprising ham out in California figured out, well, if it works for All-Star, it'll work for WinLink. So it didn't quite match up to what was needed. So the guy that built that started on improving it, making it good for WinLink. So we ended up with the DRA 30, which was the leading group nowadays is all the way up to DRA 100s. This is Masters Communication equipment. Let's see if I can figure out this. Okay, let's get this started. Sorry about the date. I got that off by 1, but anyway, this is about WinLink. WinLink is a radio email system. It's developed by hams for hams, and it uses amateur radio frequencies to provide the radio interconnection for services including email with attachments, position reporting, weather bulletins, emergency relief, blah, blah, blah. So if you can read that and faster than I can speak it. The system is built and managed by a system of volunteers and administered by the Amateur Radio Safety Foundation, which kind of monitors and handles the WinLink. And that's an American nonprofit organization. And of course, all the volunteers with are American radio amateurs sharing their skills and their ingenuity to keep the system going. And it mixes internet technology with the appropriate amateur radio, military, marine, RF commercial technologies. We get multiple digital modes that are accommodated by the system. WinLink Network provides truly interoperable messaging to all agents at the same format. And that's a key thing in today's world between emergency management operations and groups like that. The WinLink system provides an invaluable service to many public service focused organizations. Here's what we can do with WinLink. We can send and receive radio emails. The basic part of the setup looks just like any email program, and we'll see that in a few minutes. We can send radio email peer-to-peer. That means station A to station B, and that can be either HF or VHF, and depending on conditions, it can be short distance or long distance. Send and receive email to and from inside the WinLink system to the normal email system, so we can tie into email. So if you have an email address and I'm on WinLink, I can send you an email. And once that's established, you can send an email from your email account back into the WinLink system. We also have the capability to move messages across the world when the internet is unavailable with WinLink. We can send attachments, pictures, forms, and large data files. We can even send messages to cell phones. We can create, save, and display forms. There's a lot of forms that your agencies today use, Red Cross, Emergency Management, the state, and a few others. And we also have the capability to do mapping, and that's a novel feature that's added in the last year or so. You can view VHF and HF propagation forecast and weather information, and then we can even edit pictures before sending to get them down to a size that will be sent by radio fairly efficiently. The system overview is kind of like this. At the bottom level, let's see, is the user of the client stations, and you can have any kind of setup. You've got home setup, mobile setup. We have a large contingent of folks that sail the world that communicate with WinLink and get their messages and mail through the WinLink system. The next level is called a radio mail servers. That's your interlink into the internet or to a radio station that does radio only across the world. And then the interlink for the common message servers is hosted by our good friends at Amazon. So that's how the tiers go. Okay, just for information, the January activity was quite high. There was almost 74,000 messages sent and received over HF. And one of the new modes we have is VARA HF, which approaches some of the very high-speed capabilities we have with amateur radio. So packet activity is dropping off. It's down a little, not quite 19.5. VARA FM is one of the new modes, and you can see that's picking up quite a bit. And that's almost at 39,000. And then web mail activity is about 12,000. So that's just 1 month of activity on the system. The components of the system is a client, which is the single operator that's sitting in his home or in his car or wherever with a computer, radio, and the programs WinLink Express, and a TNC or a sound card to interface the radio into the computer. The next level is your RMS stations, which are the radio message servers, or the gateway to the internet. And generally these are VHF systems. Plano has a RMS off of their system. And later on, I'll have a list of quite a few. The third, there's also HF RMS as well, and we'll go into that a little bit more later. And then, of course, the CMS is the big hub that handles all of the messages and does the to and from if you were in North Carolina, like saying you've got a WinLink station, you need to get a message to your cousin in Texas. It gets on the internet through an RMS in North Carolina, and it gets up to the common message server, and then it's routed, and it can be downloaded to his cousin or his nephew or whoever in Texas. WinLink Express is the client program. It's the interface program between you and the system. And it's easily used by a single user with a single call sign, as well as several preset tactical calls or tactical addresses, and you can also have an alternate call sign as part of the setup. WellNet, it supports Telnet, high-speed multimedia, D-Star DD modes, sound card modes, internet satellite service, as well as many client station configurations, and we'll look at some configurations here later. WinLink Express also supports a wide selection of TNC, multi-mode controllers, SCS, Pactor, robust packet devices, and sound card interfaces, and we'll look at some of those. WinLink Express includes built-in forms, support for attachments and photos, along with 309 communications log generation, which is a kind of an automatic nice feature. Let's see. The little AKA means that WinLink Express used to be called RMS Express in some years back. So, okay, client station elements. The software part of that is the WinLink Express, which is the WinLink system program. That your client looks pretty much like a regular email program. Then you can use a sound modem, which would be the sound card software that interfaces the sound card to the computer, used by WinLink. Or, let's see, or using VAR FM, which is a faster, newer sound card software that interfaces the same thing, card to the WinLink system. The hardware elements are the computer with Windows 7 or newer, and it's getting a little bit iffy with 7 as the WinLink design team no longer really supports operation on 7 because everybody else is dropping 7. But it will work on 7, and it seems to work pretty well. I have a couple of old laptops running 7. It works pretty good. You need a VHF or UHF transceiver. There's really no PL required with the transceiver. Sound card interface module or terminal node controller, which is your old-fashioned TNC that maybe some of you have from Packet days. WinLink Express, there we go. Oh, I backed up. Here's what some of your configurations for client stations look like. You can have a single user set up using the internet directly to your computer, which we call Telnet. You can have a client station using the VHF, UHF transceiver with TNC, or you can opt for a sound card interface in the sound modem program. You can do the same thing with HF by using the HF modem. Pactor is a popular HF protocol type sound box with prices upwards to $1,800. So that's one of the reasons VARA HF has taken off so well. But most sailors are staying with Pactor, so you have a lot of folks that sailing with Pactor. And then there's sound card. Some of the same sound cards that work for VHF will work with HF. Okay, your modes from a client station, you can go directly to the cloud. You use FM, VHF or UHF. You can use HF Pactor, VARDOT, which is a sound card program that the WinLink folks developed. It'll probably go away here shortly. VAR FM, which is a new protocol, and then P2P between two type of stations, a little bit different type of protocol. And we can also digipeat like you would with a repeater. RMS Packet is your gateway to the system, and it interfaces a VHF client stations and a WinLink system. They're part of the network of stations providing full messaging capability to amateurs using the packet radio in combination with the common message service. It's ideal to provide a permanent or temporary portal for radio email users. It facilitates what we call the last mile concept. It's also managed by the WinLink sysops and are intended for 24/7, 365 continuous operation. So RMS Tri-Mode is a interface similar to RMS Packet that's on the HF side. And what's really nice about this program is it's able to scan multiple frequencies with a single radio, and it can also operate in the multiple radios in both scanning. So it's very handy for forwarding stations. Say you're out in the boonies, or you have been sent out to set up a station in support of a forward operation. You can use VHF packet into your computer with the WinLink programs and with Tri-Mode, and you can take input from local VHF users, client stations, get it into the system, and then you can forward it with HF out of the area to somewhere, hopefully, that you can make contact with another system that has internet capability and get your message to wherever it needs to go. In the computer, the way they all programs kind of communicate with each other, they're all on the local bus. And one thing I didn't talk much about it, but is RMS Relay, which is a kind of a local server type program. It would hold messages if the internet is down. But anyway, for those that like software stuff, that's how that stuff all links together. Computers and radio for WinLink. There, of course, all of the WinLink programs right now are Microsoft applications. Currently in works, there are some activity by the WinLink development team to create some Linux version of these. There's also some work that's outside of WinLink that's creating some compatible programs, with PAT being one of the programs that runs on Linux. Just about any UHF or VHF radio, mobile radio is best, will work with WinLink if you've ever done APRS or packet and used a radio for that. That'll work. You don't need a PL, and get started. Generally, some of your older VHF, UHF mobile radios that you've upgraded to the latest, newest, and greatest, you can pull that old one out of the closet and use it for WinLink. A number of the current UHF and VHF radios have a mini-DIN connector on the back that facilitates very easy connecting up. Same is true for several of the HF radios that have the same type of connector on the back. And with some of your newer radios, like the ICOM 7300, and some have a built-in sound card, so that makes that easier for HF operation. Interface cables for radio to computer, or radio to sound card, and sound card to radio are available. Most of them can be easily built by a radio amateur. Between the radio and the sound card, in most cases, it's just 4 wires. And a lot of your sound card devices interface to your computer with the USB, and some of them even are powered by the USB bus. Handhelds, HTs, are kind of iffy. What I have found that some work and some do not. Usually name brand HTs, Yazoo, ICOM, Alenco, work very well. And I have a very old Alenco that I test with, and it works great. Now, I have been able to get a couple Bayphones to work, but I would not recommend that. They are very iffy. Okay, here's some of the TNCs that are available and that you may have seen over the years that are available. Over on the right side, the 3 that up at the top right are of German origin, and they have all the super duper patents, but those Pactor modems typically run $1,400 to $1,800. If the newer ones, if you can find some of the older units on sale, you can probably pick them up $300 or $400. But because of that price, the software called VARA is becoming very, very important and widely used. Some of these older TNCs still work. I've got a PK12 that still works. TNCX was a great boon at one time. It did some of the decoding inside and provided it to the system. Sound card interfaces, which are super duper popular nowadays, are quite a variety of those out there, and you can pay a lot of money, and you can get some that are not too expensive. The one, let's see, this one you can get in a kit form. That one you can get in a kit form, about $25 in a kit for that. They're all through-hole parts except for the sound device, which comes pre-made on it. everybody probably seen ads for signaling. Right. Sorry about that. Everybody's probably seen the SignalLink ads if they don't have one, but the same people that make these cards has created a change out that'll fit right in the sound modem. This is a Rig Blaster. This is older MFJ. This is a very expensive one. This is a RIM card, which is very much like these cards here. This has come on lately. It's very popular. DigiRig. There's now a DigiRig Mobile that works pretty good. My little objection to that is the cables are very expensive for anything you need there. And of course, this gets down and dirty. This is very simple here. Okay, here's a simple setup that I played with for a while, and you can see there's an old Bayfung there. That's one of the master's communication devices and a little laptop. So you can get going on WinLink very simply. I want to let you know, I put this in here because some people don't expect it. If you're new to WinLink and you start by downloading the WinLink Express program, the first time you open it up and get it running, it'll pop up with a nag screen that they want you to make a donation to the WinLink Safety Foundation. You can just click it off and keep going, or at some time you might want to make a donation, about $25. So it's just a pain in the butt kind of thing. Okay, here's how you set it up real quick. You can download and configure WinLink Express. I won't go through all of this because it takes up too much time. When you first open WinLink, you'll see this pop up, and then before you know it, this pops up the first time you run it. So it'll confuse you at first, but that's how it happens. You'll open the program. Once you get it loaded and open it up, and before you know it, all of a sudden it's this. It wants you to fill out everything. So if you start filling out, just start filling out all the blanks. And now they're getting pretty sensitive about wanting you to fill out all the information. Okay, once you fill out all the information, you can go back to the main screen from that. And you can click on one of the headings called Message, and you can open up a new message. That little icon right there will also open up a message. And new message will pop up. You can input your call. They'll need that. You'll leave it to say WinLink Express. Don't do anything with those. Just put / WinLink 2K in your home email address. Just say account activation, and you can say blah, blah, blah here. And then you will post it to the outbox. So that makes it ready to send. Okay. You go back to, I know it's a little confusing. You go back to the main screen and you'll select from a sessions drop down, you'll select Telnet, and that'll bring you up another window that looks like this one, and you can hit, well, once you select your session, which will be a drop down, let's say Telnet, then you come back and you start a session. And it'll open this screen, and you'll hit start to open that screen, and that mails that piece of message you sent. Sometime later, you'll do the same thing all over again, but you'll just be checking the system. You'll just come back to this screen and hit start again. And it'll go off and look and see if there's mail for you. If it is, it'll download it, and you'll be in the system. This is a couple of pictures of different types of message. Here's a 213. Some of you may be familiar with 213s. The forms pop up on your internet browser. You fill them out, and then you close them once you click on select, and it populates and looks something like this. And then you can send that to whoever you want. At the other end, the receiving end, will see an icon saying the check mark. They'll know they've got a form as part of their message or an attachment. Okay, this is if you happen to have a packet or sound modem type sound card up, you'll see the sequence of the message exchange between the radio and the RMS, and that's what this looks like. Okay, now hopefully that was easy. I know that was a little confusing, so again, my email is in this, and so if you get interested and need some help, don't hesitate to ping me, and I'll be glad to help you with getting it going. Okay, WinLink Express has many user and system configurations. I thought I'd just show you a few. Peer-to-peer is simply two stations talking direct, and there's a mode that you have to select to do peer-to-peer. And it's only between the two of you, and nobody else will be able to link in and hear your conversation because it's between the two call signs that are being called. The problem with this is it's not too bad with VHF, especially if you may have a digipeater or something like that in the area. But you do have to plan ahead to decide what frequency you want to be on and what time you want to make contact. And that's true for both VHF and UHF. Okay, with a packet gateway, RMS VHF gateway, which we have several of them in the region, any type of client station can connect to that. The Denton station is a very good one. It's on a 300-foot tower over in Denton near the county EMO office. This is a pretty good one over in Garland. That's kind of like this is part of your last mile setup. Okay, it can even be set up and run on a LAN, or in some cases, a lot of this is on the Arden system. And you can, if it's on a LAN like the Arden system, you can get into a radio, into a RMS packet station, you get on the Arden system, and then send it down to a post office, which is used by relay, and somebody else can come in and pick it up. The folks in the LA area are very nice with the mountains that surround them, which has given them a lot of grief lately. But they are fortunate they have a ton of Arden equipment up in those mountains, and they just communicate like crazy with Arden as part of their WinLink system.
For anybody who doesn't know, Arden is the Amateur Radio Emergency Data Network, AREDN.
Yeah. This is another showing a setup that can use Wi-Fi that further allows you to use it for a setup like you may be sent out to help a forwarding station like emergency management needs something set up. If you got a hotspot, it'll tie into the internet part of your computer. And you can interface to various users over the WinLink, just straight 2.4 Wi-Fi. Here's a field forwarding setup when you have a local setup here that's, say, a camp or a forward outpost. sending messages into a forwarding station which can handle both VHF, UHF, and HF, and it transmits its message out of the area to assets that can handle HF, and then get that into the WinLink system through the internet. This side over here is internetless, and here's how you get to the internet. So this would be something like what they would set up in North Carolina up in the hills to get messaging out to, say, Texas. Okay, little sound card interface, how that interfaces. This happens to be a dual mode packet station, so that shows that you can take one sound card and from a radio, you can run sound card VARA, which is a sound card, or you can run a sound modem, which is another software. These are both software programs for analog to digital conversion. And by the way you set up your packet, you can have either one of them work the packet off of a single radio and sound card. This is how some of the RMSs that are out there, in fact, the Denton station will do this as well as the Garland station. Here's a handful of the packet stations in the area. You can see quite a few that some of them are both dual, the packet and VAR FM. And it would be nice to see McKinney put up a RMS station. We could use more than one in each county for backup capabilities. Okay, here's some reference information that you might want to take a look at. Anytime you can want to download the programs, you go remember just WinLink.org, and when the first page opens up, look across the top, you'll see downloads. Click on the downloads, and then you'll see a screen that pops up, and you'll select user programs, and you can get WinLink Express download from that as a free download. And there's some other stuff there. Once you get into it, you'll be able to figure out what it is. There's also a link on that page to the VARA stuff. One thing about VARA, there's both FM and HF. They're pretty close to being the same, but it is you can get a free version, and it's throttled. In other words, you cannot get the full speed capability. It's about $70 for the license, but if you can get a group of 10 or more together, then you can get a reduction and get a license reduced. Okay, just to show you what a working station is like, this is the Garland station that I put together. We've got two radios, and they just supposed to happen to be dual bands, and they were donated to us for the Racine station. So on one we run 70 centimeters, and that's strictly a VHF packet, 1200 baud packet station. Over on the other side, we have a sound card, and we run both sound modem, which is like 1200 baud packet, but a sound mode version of it. And we use VAR FM there. And we have all the software loaded up. So it's a full up RMS. So we can put WinLink Express in there, which becomes your local input that if you've got it at a EOC or a club station or something like that, you can have an operator to input into the system and extract from the system, as well as the other folks that want to use it. What happens if you happen to lose the internet? Where is it? RMS relay right here becomes a local server. It'll hold messages that come in, and if it's a message for a local user, that local user can pick it up so it doesn't go all the way up to the CMS or out of the system. So there are some RMS stations that just do that only as a local server and don't ever get on the internet. Okay, just throwing a plug for a program I started, and we called it WinLinkers and Digital Thursday. Started this with Garland Racy's team trying to develop a cadre of WinLink operators that would be available at any time we needed it to go out to warming stations or shelters or anything of that nature. And we started teaching peer-to-peer. I was writing exercises for all this. Then we got other folks interested, so I opened it up to anybody that wants to do WinLink. And then once a month, I write an exercise, and then we have a net the second Thursday of each month to discuss the exercise and things of that nature. So help is always available. Okay, that's it. If you got any questions, that's my email address if you need anything, or I can help you or anything. So I appreciate the opportunity to present this, and I hope to get some more WinLinkers.
All right, thank you, John. I appreciate that. That's a lot to unpack in a very short period of time. But what I think might happen is we'll end up with a WinLink group in here, because I see some.
I've already got mine set up.
There we go.
You sent the presentation earlier. Mine's running.
Okay.
The one screen where he says you got to fill all this out, where it asks for your password, you're setting your password the first time you send a message. After that, it's already been set.
I see some WinLink classes coming, so
Sure.
appreciate that. Okay, let's get wrapped up here. This is a call for new business. Do we have any new business on the floor? Nothing? Okay. All right, just a few announcements. MARC Information Net is Sunday night at 8 p.m. So for the new members in here, especially the new techs, definitely get on the net, participate on the nets. It's not scary. It's very simple to get on there. Just remember to use your call sign, please. The MARC Simplex Net. Peter did an awesome job on Monday. So right now the rotation is myself, Peter, and Jerry are the three that are really running this net. We had, 9 or 10 check-ins last night. Sometimes we have gone as high as 15, 16, 17 check-ins. Please get on the Monday night Simplex Net. It's even more fun when we have to relay. And one of these days, when it's Peter's turn, he's going to figure out what it's like to relay 10 different people. So at least manage that. It's a lot of fun, guys. So especially the new techs in here, get on the Monday night net, definitely. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, breakfast at IHOP on Saturday. We meet at 7 a.m. or earlier. Orders are taken at 7:30. Some people get there much earlier than 7 a.m. Sidewalk sale last Saturday of the month at the Collin College. Just look for the cars with the antennas. And that starts at 9 and lasts until whenever. So if there's no other business, I need a motion to adjourn. Tim and Michael. All right. Okay, do we need to vote on a motion to adjourn? All right, everybody in favor? Anybody want to stay a few more hours? No?